Hello people, welcome to my channel. If you're coming across my channel for the very first time, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing. To my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. I love you so much and I hope we are all doing fine. So I came across this video on TikTok of a lady who asked people on TikTok to share their story of women flirting with their husband or boyfriend. People really stitched her video and the stories are amazing and fun to listen to. So I will play her video as well as the stitches. At the end of the video, I will leave my own comment. And please keep it in mind that this channel does not support any form of violence, hate speech or bullying. We only share information for education purposes. So let's jump into the video.
I want to see you stitch this video with a story about somebody else flirting with your husband, boyfriend, or partner in front of you. I have a husband that has been flirted with, hit on, whatever, approached in front of me like I'm invisible many a time. Now, before I was ever on TikTok, my husband was like a big time bartender and then restaurant manager, and he was just really well known in our city as being somebody people recognize in some of the most popular places they go to eat. On our very first date, I go to the bathroom, I'm wearing a strapless bra, the top of my dress is kind of see-through, and I just want to make sure it's right. So I turned to the girl next to me and I was like, are these even? Does this look okay? And she gave me the not girl's girl bathroom energy, right? Fast forward, we've been dating a couple months. I recognize her in his restaurant. This girl was working an event that we went to on our first date. It was like a gala. And she works for him, of course. We went to a downtown event with a bunch of his other employees, and we were all on a team where other restaurant teams of people were gonna compete with each other. They called it wine race here in Memphis. And she did everything she could for the entire day to either stand in between us or let it be known that they had inside jokes and she was so much closer to him and knew him so much better. She, at one point, even because my husband was wearing a backpack, because this was gonna be a long, day-long event, he had a backpack on and she had a purse and had a bottle of lip gloss and shoves her way in front of me to go, Tyler, honey, why don't you just put this in your backpack for me so I know where to find it? For no reason. She also had a boyfriend this entire time. And then, weirdly, with so many other stories, concocted reasons that Tyler had to walk her to her car every night. This continued with so many other people throughout his entire restaurant career. On one occasion, on our third date ever, we just went to lunch in this regular spot, and our waiter not only completely ignored me almost the entire time, but kept talking to him because my husband used to have gauges. So he has visible holes in his ears where he used to have gauges. And she kept talking to him with her back to me about how oh my God, I see the light come through them and I just want to stick my pencil in your little ear hole. I keep looking at it. Delivered his food and completely forgot mine till I had to remind her. This is not only exclusive to women. And the funny thing is, as much as I love him, dedicated my life to him, married him, had a baby with him, am raising 2 other children with him, I just don't get it. I don't see the riz because it's not coming off. And he always acts so uncomfortable because his wife is sitting right there in these situations. What do they got? So I don't know what this hidden riz is that I never saw, but clearly my husband's got it and I want to hear your stories. Stitch this video with a story about somebody else flirting with your husband, boyfriend.
So it's not my current fiance. This is an ex. And it wasn't someone flirting with him. It was my cousin sleeping with him. And I didn't find out until 2 months later after we broke up.
To see you stitch this video with a story about somebody else flirting with your husband.
Okay, so my husband is attractive. Men in the grocery store, old men in the grocery store will stop us to tell me how lucky I am for how handsome he is. I know this. I think I'm pretty cute myself, but for whatever reason, people tend to tell me how hot he is and how lucky I am for that. However, this specific situation, I wasn't expecting. So we were getting foot massages, like a Thai foot massage. It's where they rub your feet for 30 minutes and then they rub your back and arms and things, and it's reflexology. So we go for our massages, we're wearing clothes, the large room with 4 beds. It's just us in there. And the women don't speak very clear English, right? So his lady says, "You very handsome man, big muscles, so sexy, wife very lucky." And he goes, "Oh, thank you." Then she Google translates it, and Google Translate repeats exactly what she had just said. So he looks over at me because he knows that I hate this situation because it always happens to me and how annoying it is. So then we sit down, and she looks at me and says, "You very lucky, have tall, handsome, sexy man, big muscle." And then Google translates it again for me, and I'm like, thanks. During the massage, again, she's like, "You very tall, sexy. I love husband, tall, sexy, handsome man." And she keeps Google translating it. Let's just tell you that every single time she's Google translating it after we can clearly hear her. And I guess just to make sure that he knows how tall, sexy, and handsome he is. And then again, reminds me how lucky I am. This was an hour massage. She told us over 5 times how handsome, tall, sexy he was in different ways, adding in that he was muscular, how firm his muscles were, how nice his skin was. But at the end, always reminding me how lucky I was. The best part was like the 3rd time she said this, my lady's like, "You very pretty too." I'm like, thanks.
You stitch this video with a story about somebody else flirting with your husband, boyfriend.
First boyfriend was a long distance relationship because we went to different colleges. I was visiting and there was a group of us out and she was very clearly flirting with him. It was like a carnival or something and she was acting cute with him, like, "Oh, win me a whatever." And I thought it was really weird because he kind of wasn't, turning her down. And then later when we were alone, he was just like, "Oh yeah, people say we look good together, that we'd make a good couple," because she's into like punk rock type clothes and I wasn't. I would wear like the baby fat jackets and stuff. So yeah, obviously we broke up and then he apparently tried to get with her and then she turned him down and then she posted the lyrics to Lady Gaga's Paper Gangster on her Facebook.
This video with a story about somebody else flirting with your husband.
Let me tell you a story. It's 2015. I just got married. I'm living on the truck with my ex-husband. And occasionally when we were on the road, we would stop in Atlanta where my homegirl and her fiance lived. She was like, "Girl, come on. They got this cute little downtown area. There's all these new restaurants that are popping up. Like, it's very eclectic." I'm like, cool. We decided to do a little double date situation and find a place for dinner. The waitress comes over. She seemed friendly at the time and asked us what we wanted to eat and drink. She's like, "Okay, I'll be right back," and goes to put in her order. And as she's walking away, she kind of like touches his shoulder a little bit. And at the time, I didn't think anything of it because I'm just like, okay, well, we're in the South. Maybe people are just a little bit more friendly or warm, I guess. Then she comes back and she brings my ex-husband's drink and her fiance's drinks. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then she walks away and I'm thinking like, okay, she's about to grab our drinks, which is so weird because it's like a lot of y'all waiters and waitresses, y'all know how to carry multiple glasses at a time. There's only 4 of us at the table. But anyways, so my homegirl's man is like, "Hey, by the way, like, we need their drink still." And she's like, "Okay, I'm coming. I got it." And when she comes back, she brings me and my homegirl our cocktails in plastic cups. Again, very strange behavior considering that both my ex-husband and her man received their cocktails in glasses. At this point, my homegirl checks her. She's like, "Excuse me, can we get glasses as well? Like, our cocktails should not be in plastic cups." And the girl's like, well, actually, all of our dishes, all of our glasses are dirty and we're waiting for like the wait staff in the back to clean some more." If that was the case, why wouldn't you just be like, "Oh, by the way, we're waiting for a few more cups to be cleaned and then we'll bring you guys all out your cocktails." Like, she gets an attitude and is like, "We'll see what we can do." I see her walk over to the bar and she kind of like whispers to the bartender, starts chuckling a little bit. And then I see her take a shot. I'm like, okay, is she going on break? Like, what's going on? Anyways, so she comes back, brings again my ex-husband and her man their food. She's like, "I really hope you guys enjoy it, blah, blah, blah. This came from this area and this was grown here and blah, blah, blah." She's giving all the details about the plate, where it was raised, where it was killed, whatever. And she keeps just looking at my ex-husband and my friend's man, like giving them the googly eyes, smiling at them. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Maybe she's just really trying to get that tip. But my homegirl, she's not having it at this point. So she cuts her off. She's like, "Excuse me, we're still waiting for our food." She's like, "I'll be right back." Also, keep in mind that this lady, like, refused to pretty much look at me and my homegirl unless we specifically asked her for something. So we get our food, we're sitting there eating, and we're talking about, like, oh, okay, what's going on with that waitress? Like, something seems off. Like, what is going on with her? And multiple times throughout our dinner, when she would come and be like, "Hey, do you need anything?" she would specifically only look at the man, and anytime we would ask for something, she would proceed to walk away, and either my ex-husband or my homegirl's man would literally have to be like, "Hey, by the way, they need this, they need napkins, like, they want sauce, like, blah, blah, blah." Like, unless one of the men checked her, she would just walk away in the middle when me and my homegirl were speaking to her. At this point in time, my homegirl's fiance is like, "Excuse me, can we just get the check? Like, we're ready to go." Like, "Yeah, sure, let me go get it for you." So she brings the check. We proceed to fill out however much we're gonna give her. Which, by the way, we still tipped, but it was not a lot. She comes back, and at this point, we could tell that she's drunk. She starts yelling and cussing at me and my homegirl, talking about, "How am I supposed to live off this? Is this how you tip people? This is so disrespectful." Like, she's yelling, and people are like looking around like, what's going on with her? So my friend's fiance is like, "You know what? Let me just go get the coats. Like, can we get our cards so we can go?" Then she goes back to the register and comes back. She's like, "I don't know where your card is. We can't seem to find it. Blah, 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 blah." We sat there for another 20 to 30 minutes while this woman proceeded to look for the card. cards. Then she tries to come back, and of course, she's touching on both their shoulders. I'm so sorry, and blah, blah, blah. And keep in mind, she's not looking or talking to me or my homegirl. My friend's fiance is like, you know what, we're leaving. Grabs her arm, grabs her girl. He's like, come on, babe, let's go. Like, you guys ready to go? And we're like, yeah. Anyways, long story short, I ended up writing a review on some little website, and the manager got in touch with me, and they fired her.
All the stories are interesting, but first I want to comment on the original video because I was waiting for her to say something about her husband stopping her behavior. I have a feeling that he flirts with them when she is not around, and sounds like he enjoys it and needs to create boundaries. I don't care about how other women behave around my man, but I only care about his reaction because some men seems like they enjoy this behavior from women so much. So I don't care what that woman or what she does to my boyfriend or my husband. I'm only interested of the reaction from my husband. Anyway, thank you so much for being part of the conversation. Please don't forget to share what your experience was or what you think in the comment section below. It's a bye for now and stay safe.